Hi, my name is Jamie. I've actually been using TransTape for going on what's about 2 years now. Transitioning wise, personally, I've been going through it for about 3 years or so. I started off using a binder. Binders to me, it was always something that made me feel less of who I really am. And it was always a constant struggle before I came across a product that a friend recommended to me, which is TransTape. And TransTape has actually completely transformed not only my mental state, but how I'm able to go through my life. At first, I tried TransTape and it was a little rough around the edges. You know, nobody's perfect, you know what I mean? So there's a couple trial and errors, tried a couple different sizes, but eventually, once I finally got it going and got figured out what I needed, I was able to go to the gym. I was able to get that confidence that I could even go into the men's locker room and take a shower. And I wouldn't think twice about it because the confidence that I actually got from TransTape completely changed how much effort I put into myself, how I felt about myself. And honestly, without it, you know, who knows where I would be, you know? But it's definitely better than a binder, and it gives you that freedom to actually go about that feeling of not having, you know, a binder what feels like a bra anymore. So you can wear a shirt like this, like you can't see anything, and it just gives you the confidence that there's no price on. So first thing I do before I apply the TransTape is I actually learned that using waterproof bandages doesn't really matter the brand necessarily, but I find it a lot easier to apply and to take off. So I always have those spare sitting by, and after I apply those, I always go into my handy dandy little holder right here, you know, and I have a bunch of pre-cut strips. I like to usually cut enough strips that I don't have to worry about applying for a couple weeks. So that way I can just wake up, grab a couple strips with the edges already rounded, and I can just kind of get going to it. So now I'm going to show you how I apply it. First, I always take a little bit from the start right here, probably about maybe 1 inch, give or take. I don't want to take it all off because then it's going to get all crinkled, and we don't like wrinkles, okay? So first thing I do, I kind of line it up. I can usually see because I keep it a little shaved around where I apply it, so I can usually see an area of where I'm going to start. So I just take it right there. Sometimes the trick that I learned when I'm in the beginning, I would just take how I would lay my hand out and just see how that rests, and then I kind of have an idea of where I'm going to actually apply the tape and the kind of pressure that I'm going to put on it. So once I place it like that, I give it a nice smooth. I want to make sure you get like right under here so that we get a little bit more stability. You don't have to worry about any extra movement going on, if you know what I mean. And we're just going to flatten that there, get a good stick. I usually, right up here is usually where I always struggle. Sometimes if I forget about that little spot right there, it makes me really loose.
Turn a little so they can see.
So yeah, like right here. So a lot of times I'll kind of stretch it out right there so I don't have to worry about it when I'm applying. So that way you get pressed right there, you don't have to worry about it now. So then kind of like lean back a little bit, it'll kind of help you a little bit with the movement. So then as I'm pushing with this hand, I'm smoothing it out, but I'm trying to keep this as low as I can so I'm not raising my arm all the way. So then once I get it to the end right there, just kind of let it stick. Then, you know, give it a couple rubs and then you're good to go on that side. So if you're like me, you struggle and you have a little bit of OCD going on, you want to get it even. I learned if you keep trying to get it even, you might actually, you know, mess it up. So it's more important just to focus that you're applying it correctly. Don't worry about getting even, because I promise anybody looking at you, they're not going to notice. You're going to be thinking about it, but they're not going to notice. So again, you want to pull it back about 1 inch or so. Keep it right that. And the same thing with this side. You can kind of see where I've been applying it recently. And like I said last, so you kind of want to like cut right there, just kind of see where that natural movement is going to go for you.
Turn to this side as much as you can. There we go.
So you get right here. Like I said, you want to make sure you get right under here. And then also give it a little stretch up here to give you a little head start. Don't have to worry about it. You want to pat it down. Try to keep all the wrinkles out that you can. Sometimes, you know, it's not perfect. You might have to reapply. And that's okay. So we're just going to move it like that. I struggle a little bit more on this side, but same concept. You want to take it, you smooth it out, give it a couple rubs, you're good to go. Alright, so when you're applying the TransTape, it's really important not to hold your arm all the way up here. It's definitely natural and you definitely want to do it and you think it's going to give you like a flatter look, but the important part of that is that you can even notice right here Well, when my arm goes down, you start seeing the wrinkles. So if you actually apply it with your arm all the way up and you come down, you're gonna actually start wrinkling here, it's gonna start pulling away from the skin, and it's just gonna set you up for a little bit more irritation. So as hard as it is, the best thing you can do is keep your shoulder as low as possible, while still also, you know, getting all that good spot lift. You don't wanna go too far back, and you don't wanna pull it too tight. You don't want the wrinkles. Like I said, you'll get irritation, and nobody likes any irritation that you can avoid.